Pauper Ruby Storm is back, featuring classics like Thornscape Familiar and Goblin and Archmancer, but today we're also playing some new cards like Land Grant and our sideboard copies of Seize the Storm. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Pauper Ruby Storm. I actually recorded this deck about 3 months ago. You could find that one in the card above. And at the end of that video, I said that I wanted to play Land Grant. And there's really 3 reasons why. 1, better mana. We were playing Geothermal Crevice previously, but when you have Land Grant to search out forests out of your deck, you're able to then play Thornscape Familiar or your Goblin and Archmancers more consistently without having to give up your lands in order to do so. I think that's actually a pretty meaningful change here, and I've liked it in my practice league games that I played before recording. So I did play 3 matches. I really ended up loving the Land Grants. The second reason that you want to play Land Grant over Geothermal Crevice is that Gutter Snipe triggers off Land Grant. Okay, so that helps a little bit when you're comboing. You need less cards cast in order to win. Really the same number of cards cast, but the lands wouldn't help you where Land Grant does. Okay, that's fair. The third reason, you have Glimpse the Impossible in your deck. And if you were to exile a land, you can't then you play that land or discard that land to Big Score or Laughing Mad, Electric Revelation, that sort of thing. You can play the land off of Glimpse the Impossible, but you can't discard it, was my point. And if you have a Land Grant in exile instead, you can then play the Land Grant, go grab your Forest or Wooded Ridgeline, and then discard that to your Big Score. So this way your deck is a little bit more synergistic and it has more things going on for it, because sometimes the choke point with this deck is cards in hand, and having Land Grant off of Glimpse the Impossible is just a slight upgrade there. It also helps for the sideboard copy of Seize the Storm. So I guess really a fourth reason is that it does count towards making your large creature even bigger, and we do like that. So that is another slight upgrade of the Land Grant. And really, that's the only change in the main deck. It's Land Grants and the mana base. This deck was so powerful in that last video. I just really wanted to run it back. But unfortunately, I've had so many legacy donation decks the last couple months that I haven't been able to get back to this deck. But now I am, and I'm really excited to play it today. Somebody left a comment on the previous video that they thought Seize the Storm was the sideboard card I was looking for. This allows you to leverage your sideboard Weather the Storms without having to board in Apostle's Blessing versus the mono red deck. So the game plan is you board out Thornscape Familiar and your win condition of Gutter Snipe for the sideboard copies of Seize the Storm and Weather the Storm. So the idea is that you're not really looking to do a giant combo turn. You're looking to play Weather the Storms to gain a whole bunch of life, and then a Seize the Storm for a giant creature, and then just attack them over and over, because the mono red deck is really good at making small creatures, but this creature has trample, so that's not a concern. And that means that you likely, and I could be wrong about this, but you likely don't have to play any sweepers like Breath Weapon. So that's the idea. Apostle's Blessing is primarily for decks with heavy removal in order to keep your Goblin and Archmancers alive. Pyroblast is for the blue decks, obviously. Flaring Pain is for Prismatic Strand strategies, and I already mentioned Seize the Storm and Weather the Storm for mono red. That's my deck tech. I'm really excited to play this deck today because I really do think it's pretty powerful. Let's see how we do, and I'll see everyone in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1, we're on the play with Pauper Ruby Storm. This is fantastic. Keep. Much better than Geothermal Crevice in my opinion, because we're going to be able to play an Archmancer on turn 2 without having to sacrifice a land to do so. Okay, so we'll play the Mountain. They have Swamp. I don't love that. We'll reveal our hand with Land Grant, grab the basic Forest, and let's play Goblin and Archmancer. Pass the turn, land number 2 into an Ichor Wellspring. I'm going to just play the second Goblin and Archmancer, and then we'll Land Grant for the Wooded Ridgeline, play it, and attack for 2. Swing better. Bazooka Bog. This person probably kept this hand versus the Cycle Storm guy due to having Bazooka Bog, but not playing it today. We'll play Thornscape Familiar, so the third reducer. This would mean that Big Score actually makes mana. And now we'll attack for 4. We go to 14. I would like to play Big Score, discard the Rite of Flame. We'll play Electric Revelation, discard Thornscape Familiar. And then we'll flashback the Electric Revelation, discard another Electric Revelation. Pirate's Pillage, that was a good one. We'll play it, discard a Laughing Mad. Manamorphose, don't mind if I do. We'll play that. Our mono black deck apparently just doesn't have removal. We draw a Glimpse the Impossible. I'd like to play a Glimpse and dig for more mana. Hi-oh! We found a Rite of Flame. That makes 3 mana here. But let's expand my graveyard a little bit. And now we'll Manamorphose. Make a red. Oh wow, another Rite of Flame. That's going to be mana for the rest of the game. 3 lands off of Glimpse the Impossible. That was pretty stinky. Alright, so I don't know if I want to discard this Rite of Flame yet. So I think I'm going to Electric Revelation, discard Laughing Mad. And now we can Electric Revelation again, discard a creature. There's our win condition. So I'll play the Rite of Flame here because 4 mana is a lot. We'll play the Gutter Snipe. And now we'll Electric Revelation from the graveyard, discard Thornscape Familiar, trigger. Ooh, double Big Score effect. We'll play Pirate's Pillage, discard the Goblin and Archomancer. They're at 10. Let's Glimpse the Impossible again. Maybe avoid 3 lands. Well, so this is one of the spots I talked about in the deck tech, where we're going to be able to Pirate's Pillage here, discard the Forest, and then be able to use Land Grant to thin. Or at least trigger the Goblin, or the Gutter Snipe. So I do have to get rid of the land in my hand before I can play it for free. So let's Big Score again. They're at 4. Electric Revelation. Here I guess we don't even really need to Land Grant, but the possibility for damage does exist. We'll discard the Mountain. And that would have been the last land for the Land Grant. We'll Pirate's Pillage. Discard Wooded Ridgeline. We almost drew our deck. There's 15 cards left in our library, and we had a pretty easy win. Our opponent just did not have an interactive draw, though, so maybe I got lucky. We'll want the Apostle's Blessings versus the black deck, and then boarding out Rite of Flame, just slowing down a hair in order to be more consistent. That's the game plan here in match number 1. Game number 2, this seems fine enough to me, we'll keep. They play a Mirror Gate, or Manor Gate? Manor Gate. Sandstone Needle, a great draw. And now they play Duress. Let's see what they take. They took the Manamorphose, interesting. Basic Forest. Another Apostle's Blessing. We'll reveal our hand. And I think I'm just going to grab a Wooded Ridgeline here and pass. I don't want to play out the Goblin and Archomancer without the Apostle's Blessing protection. And they just land go. We'll Land Grant again. Grab the Forest. And I think here, if our opponent isn't going to do anything meaningful, let's just Pirate's Pillage. And I'll get rid of a Laughing Mad. Pass the turn. We'll just set up while they're stuck on mana. And our opponent realized the writing on the wall and just conceded the match. Yeah, so like what I want to cover there is you don't have to play into your opponent's tricks. Like you could have played Goblin and Archomancer there and held open Apostle's Blessing, which is a fine line. Like I don't think it's inherently wrong. But by advancing our game plan with Pirate's Pillage, you're just putting yourself so far ahead that they're never going to be able to catch back up. And if you did take the Goblin and Archomancer plus Apostle's Blessing line, what if they go end step removal, untap removal? You feel a little foolish. By playing the Pirate's Pillage line, you never get your Goblin and Archomancer killed. And I think that has some value. So that's why I took this line instead. We won match number 1, which is pretty sweet. Let's go win match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2 with Pauper Ruby Storm on the play. Let's party. Yeah, this seems fine. Keep. We don't have a reducer, but if we find one, this hand goes bananas. We'll play the Mountain and pass. They have their own Mountain. We draw Manamorphose. I'll just play the Land Grant, grab the Wooded Ridgeline, pass the turn. Boros Garrison, so they're likely Boros mid-range. And now they're going to clean up. They discard a Prismatic Strands. Tough card for this deck to beat. I would like to cycle a Manamorphose. Red. 3 Rite of Flames, huh? Okay. We'll cycle another Manamorphose. Red-green. We missed on the reducer. I'll play the Mountain. Play 1 Rite of Flame, and then let's Big Score, discarding a Rite of Flame. Pass the turn. Ancient Den into Novice Inspector. We'll just play Gutter Snipe. I think if we're going to beat the Prismatic Strands, that's likely a play we need to make. The Galvanic Blast, sure. Now they swing, I'm at 19. Glint Hawk, they can pick up the Novice Inspector. Not a good matchup for me. Pirate's Pillage. I think we just get rid of a Seething Song here. Pass the turn. They use the Clue token. They swing, ouch. Interesting, so they swung out, so if they don't have another Prismatic Strands, I think this was a misplay. But this tells me that they might have two. I would like to just play Glimpse the Impossible here. We did not hit. I'll play Rite of Flame, so this will make 4 mana. And then we'll play another Glimpse the Impossible. They hit a Gutter Snipe and double Laughing Mad. I'll play the Hickory Woodlot, and then play the Gutter Snipe. So that's going to be both my win conditions, which means that we likely have to use this Felden's Cane in our deck in order to win, because they're going to kill this Gutter Snipe. And now I have to pass, and we'll get some Eldrazi spawns on the end step. They kill the Gutter Snipe, sure. They play an Experimental Synthesizer, Mountain. They Lightning Bolt me. Interesting. And they're swinging, so they're not holding open the Prismatic Strands. I wonder what that means. I'm going to use my Eldrazi spawns here so I can keep my mana open. And then let's play a big score, discard the Forest. Wow, still no Reducers. We're almost 50% through our deck. There's 1 land left in the deck for the Land Grant. I will Electric Revelation, discard the Hickory Woodlot. Well, there's our first Reducer. Let's play the Thornscape Familiar. They might be holding open Thraben Charm. I don't know if they want to try to kill my creature or exile my graveyard with it, but it's something they could do. I'll play a Seething Song, and then we'll play the Land Grant, go get the final Wooded Ridgeline. Or no, oh no, I just messed up. I see it now in the graveyard. I just punted. I did not see it in the graveyard previously. No! I looked multiple times and I just did not see it. And then when it was on the stack, my eye caught it in the graveyard. That's a punt. I might have just cost myself this game. And here's the Thraben Charm to kill the creature. We will Electric Revelation, discard Electric Revelation. Alright, my creature dies. Land Grant's going to just do nothing here because I'm a dummy. I think I'm supposed to just pass. I just messed up so badly. Ugh. It also didn't help that our first Reducer was halfway through our deck when we play 8 of them. Also, if they had just exiled my graveyard, I literally can't win the game because both of my Gutter Snipes are in the graveyard. And now they have Prismatic Strands open. We'll play Goblin and Narcomancer, Thornscape Familiar. Yeah, they just had everything this game. Okay. Between my error and their draw, like, there just wasn't a lot we could do. So, realistically, my own fault. I should have played better. But they also had a pretty good draw. We'll bring in Apostle's Blessing, get rid of the Rite of Flames, and then I really think we want the Flaring Pain in order to beat Prismatic Strands. And I think I'll shave 1 Land Grant, which might be a little bit greedy. The previous list played 17 lands. Or, I'm sorry, 16 lands. And I was effectively going up to 17 with my Land Grants. So I think it's fine to shave 1 here. On the play. This seems delightful to me. Play the Sandstone Needle and we'll pass. Basic Plains into a Thraben Inspector. We'll play the Land Grant, grab a Forest. And these are the spots where I really like Land Grant because it allows you to get ahead a little bit faster. And now we'll pass. Another Plains, Raven Charm. That hurts. So now I need another land that doesn't force me to lose my mana. So I think I'll just pass here. They have a red source now. They play a Lembas and a Glint Hawk. They pick up the Lembas, and now they swing. Pirate's Pillage. I think I'll just pass. They play Ancient Den into Lembas, now keeping the red mana open. Glint Hawk. They swing. Ouch. I'm at 15. We have not drawn any more mana. I'm starting to feel the pressure, so I'm going to Seething Song and then Pirate's Pillage, because this could make more mana while digging for lands. We'll discard Electric Revelation. We find the Sandstone Needle, and I'll just pass from here. I'm at 15, they can attack for 5, that'll put me to 10. I'm worried about, like, if they, like, attack for 5, I pass the turn, they attack for 5 and then burn me out. Relic of Progenitus, okay. They swing, I go to 10. Like, end step Galvanic Blast, you untap Lightning Bolt, does win the game. We'll begin with Goblin and Narcomancer, and then we'll try a Thornscape Familiar. I could try to draw into an Apostle's Blessing here, which might be the move. So we'll play Seething Song, and then big score, get rid of Thornscape Familiar, and there's the Apostle's Blessing. So we'll target the Goblin. I lose a mana. We'll say pro red. And now the Thornscape Familiar resolves. Or will resolve, I guess. Play the Seething Song. Let's Laughing Mad for 1 mana, getting rid of the Apostle's Blessing. Glimpse the Impossible, that was good. We'll play Glimpse. They could crack the Relic here and hit 2 cards with Flashback. And I'm going to let this happen. I could Flashback, but I don't want to get rid of the other Glimpse. That was not particularly strong. We'll play the other Glimpse. So this is a spot where Land Grant shines, because I can go search my deck for a forest to then discard to the Pirate's Pillage. So we'll grab the forest, play a Thornscape Familiar, and now we Pirate's Pillage, discard a forest, and we actually go up on mana here. Alright, that's looking a little dicey. We're going to need another good Glimpse the Impossible. Glimpse. It's another Glimpse and a Manamorphose, so we're still in it. We'll play another Glimpse the Impossible into another Manamorphose and lands. So we're running on fumes here. Manamorphose. Red, red. Our final draw. Manamorphose. Red, red. I don't think I actually need green. Like, if I have to play this Thornscape Familiar, I think that means that I've lost. But maybe I'm being short-sighted. I'll just make it green, I guess. And we fizzled. We didn't hit enough draw spells. We played triple Glimpse the Impossible, and then didn't hit a draw 2, like an Electric Revelation. So I guess we're playing Thornscape Familiar and the Sandstone Needle, and then hoping we're not dead. I don't think it was incorrect for me to allow the Relic to resolve. I think we just needed to draw better. They have 4 in the air, so I am dead to a Galvanic Blast. I am not dead to a Lightning Bolt. Bajuka Bog, sure. They swing for 4 in the air. I go to 4. Laughing Mad, that's what I wanted last turn. We'll cast it, discard a mountain. They use the Relic, sure. We'll flashback the Laughing Mad, discard Wooded Ridgeline. Okay. I think I'm supposed to play a Seething Song. We're going to need mana in order to win. Electric Revelation, discard the Goblin and Archimancer. We'll flashback, discard Mountain. Electric Revelation, discard Hickory Woodlot. Big Score, discard Land Grant. I'll use the Electric Revelation here, I guess. Maybe I'll Manamorphose. See if I could draw like a land or something to discard. We'll make a white and a red. And then I can Revelation, discarding the Sandstone Needle. Okay, so now they can exile some stuff I don't care about. Big Score. We'll play Gutter Snipe. They have the Prismatic Strands. I have the Flaring Pain, so we don't actually care. And then we'll play another Gutter Snipe. Use a treasure here to cast the Flaring Pain. This triggers the Gutter Snipes, but they don't deal damage until the Flaring Pain resolves. And now we'll play Pirate's Pillage. Discard the Apostle's Blessing. We just don't need it anymore, I don't think. There's 6 cards left in the deck. We'll use Big Score, discard Laughing Mad. There's the Felden's Cane. We'll Laughing Mad, discard Mountain. And then I'm just trying to think of how I want to play this. 12 minutes on the clock. I'll play the Felden's Cane. Use the Pirate's Pillage. This will draw the final 2 cards. They go to 6. I'll use the Felden's Cane. And then Manamorphose. They're at 2. We'll make a red, red. And then I'll cast Flaring Pain again to kill them. We did it. Wow, okay. A little bit of luck there, but we made it happen. Run it back. Game 3 on the draw. We've opened up a 1 forest hand. I think you're supposed to mulligan this. Better. We'll keep. Bottom the Gutter Snipe. Ancient Den into Glint Hawk. Picks up their Ancient Den. Interesting. We'll play the Sandstone Needle. Pass. Now they have a Mountain. So they're representing that removal spell. We'll play Land Grant. We'll grab a Wooded Ridgeline. We'll play it and pass. Ancient Den. Relic of Progenitus. Sure. They swing. We draw a Big Score. I think I'm going to just glimpse here, digging for a land and hopefully making 2 Eldrazi's. Oh no. We're going to mill over a Gutter Snipe here. That's not good. We do make 3 Eldrazi, but I really wanted a land. I did not want to mill over Gutter Snipe. That is bad for me. They play a Core Skyfisher. This will allow them to pick up a land and then replay it. I go to 14. They use the Relic. We'll exile an Apostle's Blessing. We drew another. They have 5 in hand. So I could try to play Goblin into Seething Song. And if they bolt, I have the Apostle's Blessing. So we'll play the Goblin and Archimancer. Play Seething Song. They have the Lightning Bolt. I will now Apostle's Blessing. I go to 12. We do have to sacrifice an Eldrazi spawn. I'll say red. Seething Song resolves. And then I will Big Score. Discard a Laughing Mad. We had another Goblin. That's good. Play the Goblin. So now our spells are reduced by 2. Play Laughing Mad. Discard the Mountain. I think that's right. Another Apostle's Blessing. I think I fizzled and I just have to pass the turn. Okay. Another Glint Hawk. So now they can replay the Ancient Den. And they do. This attack will put me down to 8. I'm going to need some very good draws if we want to win this. They exile all graveyards. And now they're going to try to kill my Goblin, but I have another Apostle's Blessing. I'll go to 6, sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn. Protection from red. Things are not looking good here. Electric Revelation, discard the forest. Oh my. Glimpse the Impossible? Unfortunate. They got me. Our draw just never came together. They have 6 in the air and I'm at 6. I cannot play Manamorphose. So yeah, we lose. Sometimes that happens. Unfortunate. They had a highly interactive deck and it just happened to get us. So we're 1-1, but there's still 3 more matches. Let's try to win those. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, and we're looking to bounce back after that tough loss. We're on the play. This one's really close. You're pretty much just a green source away for the Goblin and Archimancer, so we'll keep. Play the Sandstone Needle and pass. They play a bridge, and there's our green mana. So do we want to run out the Goblin? That's the question here. I think I'm going to pass, and then on the end step I'll play Laughing Mad, discarding the Rite of Flame. They play a Blood Fountain, so they're on Affinity. End step Laughing Mad, discard that Rite of Flame. Another land is good. Should I try to go for it here? That's the question. So I can play Seething Song until I glimpse the Impossible or Manamorphose. We have Pirate's Pillages. I'm just concerned that we only have 1 reducer. I think I'm going to push my luck. Seething Song, Manamorphose. I'll make green, red. Another big score. I think I'd like to glimpse the Impossible. We had another Rite of Flame. That's great. So that's some mana. Play big score from exile. Discard a Pirate's Pillage. Another Rite of Flame. I mean, we like mana. So I'll play the Rite of Flame, play another big score, discard Electric Revelation. And now another big score, discard the Sandstone Needle. All mana, apparently. Alright, so this Rite of Flame will make 5. Electric Revelation, discard a Seething Song. Gutter Snipe is not particularly good here. We'll play the Seething Song, flashback Laughing Mad, get rid of the Land Grant. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Into 3 mana sources. That was terrible. We'll play the Land Grant. Gets a Wooded Ridgeline. Once again, this is value that the previous list did not have. And now we'll Pirate's Pillage. Get rid of the Wooded Ridgeline. I'm just spinning my wheels. Oh my. I think I'm just going to pass. Like, I don't want a big score, lose a bunch of stuff. I should not have 6. Black Mage's Rod, so they don't have the removal for my creature. That's a good sign. I'll begin by playing the Gutter Snipe. Sacrifice the Eldrazi spawns, and let's big score, discarding Hickory Woodlot. Trigger, they go to 18. We fizzled again. So I have 1 forest in play, 1 in the graveyard, a Wooded Ridgeline. It looks like we have 1 left in the deck. I'll cast it to deal them 2. Play the Thornscape Familiar, pass the turn. They're going to use a blood token here. Apparently not. They thought about it, and then they started doing something else. Now they're going to use the blood token. Gets rid of a Mist Vault Bridge, and then a second copy of Black Mage's Rod. Now they swing, no blocks. Need to draw something good. That was, in fact, something good. We'll play the Electric Revelation, discard the Wooded Ridgeline. Here we go. Pirate's Pillage, discard... Actually, hold on. I think maybe I'm supposed to play out the Goblin, because the Pirate's Pillage then becomes plus mana, and then I can flashback the Electric Revelation in the graveyard for 1 mana as well. So now we'll flashback Electric Revelation, discard the Thornscape Familiar. They go to 10. Another Gutter Snipe. I love that. So we'll play that. So now these deal 4 damage each. We'll play Revelation, discarding Laughing Mad. They're at 6. Flashback Laughing Mad, discarding Thornscape Familiar. They'll go to 2. And Land Grant for lethal. We did it. That was a messy one, but we got the W, which is really all that matters. So we're facing Affinity, a deck that is known to have Galvanic Blast. The question is, do you want Apostle's Blessing, or would you rather have the mana from Rite of Flame? I think we want the Apostle's Blessings. I could be wrong, but it also protects you from Kark Clan Shaman, and we'll hit Submit. This seems like a fine hand. We'll keep. They play a bridge. We'll play a Hickory Woodlot. They just go land go. I am fine playing that game. Mountain into pass. Great Furnace. If you're not going to tap mana, I'm not going to tap mana. Pass the turn. They play a Vault of Whispers into Mirror Enforcer. Okay. I wonder if this is a Hydroblast in their hand. End step will Electric Revelation discard 1 Apostle's Blessing because we have 2. My read is that it's a Hydroblast. And maybe these Apostle's Blessings should be Red Elemental Blast instead? I'm not sure. We'll play Land Grant, grab the Forest, and then we'll attempt a Seething Song. And there's the Hydroblast. Okay. We will pass the turn. They swing, we'll go to 16. Another Apostle's Blessing. We'll play Goblin, pass the turn. A Breath Weapon. I will Apostle's Blessing. I will go to 14, and they play Negate. Do I want to trade my land for another Apostle's Blessing? I think I do. Also, seeing Negate, if I manage to lose this game, I'm going to bring in Pyroblast. They have 2 cards left in their hand now. They have Galvanic Blast. Okay, a lot of interaction here in game number 2. We'll play the Goblin and Archimancer and pass. Well, I guess Pyroblast doesn't beat Breath Weapon or Galvanic Blast, so I'm not sure if what I'm doing is actually wrong. Another Hydroblast. And now they play Thoughtcast. Very disruptive draw on their side. They play Reckoner's Bargain. I mean, there's not a draw step that wins this for me, so we're already dead. And a Kirkland Shaman. Okay, so I don't think I was wrong for bringing in Apostle's Blessing, and I think I might even still want to leave them in. But now I'm beginning to wonder, are we also supposed to have in some number of Pyroblast? Like, what if we get rid of 1 Apostle's Blessing, 1 Land Grant? This is going to be risky, but maybe the Felden's Cane, and we'll do this. Okay, this is not good enough. We will mulligan. I really need another land, but I think we're supposed to keep it. We'll bottom a Laughing Mad. If I don't draw a land on turn 2, there's a good chance we're not going to win this. They play their Bridge. We did not hit. Unfortunate. They play Great Furnace and a Nile Spellbomb. Sure. Refurbish Familiar. Okay. Strong start. We'll discard the Electric Revelation. Another Apostle's Blessing. We have to pass. I go to 18. They play another Bridge. And another Refurbish Familiar. I think I'm priced into discarding one of the Apostle's Blessings. Mirror Enforcer. Wow. Unfortunately, I just didn't draw lands. We have to pick this one up. Like, I'm already too far behind. So if I pass the turn, they attack for 8. I go to 10. And then I would need even a perfect draw. Untap land into Goblin. They would put me to 2, and I'd have to win on the following turn without enough resources. So it's just not practical. So things kind of fell apart in our post-board games against Affinity. Maybe I sideboarded wrong. If I did, let me know. Because I'm always trying to learn how to play better and stuff like that, but I'm not convinced that I did. So some mana issues here. We've had some games where we flood, some games where we're a little bit screwed. That is part of playing Pauper, where the consistency isn't quite as there as other formats, but I really do like this deck, and I love the land grants, so I don't think I want to change that. But let's just see if we can keep our head up high and win match number 4. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. The 4th match. We're on the draw. This is a fine hand. We'll try it out. Our opponent has taken a mulligan. Vault of Whispers into Blood Fountain, so maybe Affinity again, we'll find out. We'll play Sandstone Needle, pass. Maybe we can get revenge for last round. And a Bridge, so it is in fact Affinity. Okay. Seething Song is the draw. We'll play Forest and pass. They play a Bridge and a Thoughtcast. 5 cards in their hand. Refurbish Familiar. I'm going to respond here with an Electric Revelation, discarding the Mountain. And now Refurbish Familiar will resolve, and I'll discard a Rite of Flame. But I think it's probably go time for us. I'd really like another cost reducer quickly. We'll play the Goblin and Archimancer. Rite of Flame makes 3. I think I'm going to end up discarding this Mountain, so I don't want to play it out quite yet. And then we'll play Seething Song, Glimpse the Impossible. We hit another reducer, that was good. So we'll play Pirate's Pillage, discard the Mountain, I think. Another Seething Song was solid. So now I can play the Goblin, and 1 mana Seething Song. We'll Pirate's Pillage from exile, discard a big score from hand. And now the big score effects are all free, and now they're positive because I drew a Thornscape Familiar. So big score discarding big score makes a mana. We'll play the Land Grant. We have a couple lands in our deck to discard here. Grab a Wooded Ridgeline. We'll play the big score, discard the Wooded Ridgeline, and Glimpse the Impossible. That was solid. So we'll play Rite of Flame, makes 4 mana here, I believe. Pirate's Pillage, discard a Wooded Ridgeline. Pirate's Pillage, discard the Sandstone Needle. This should be pretty easy. And now we'll glimpse the Impossible. 2 lands and a land grant. We'll play Laughing Mad, discarding the basic forest. Flashback the Laughing Mad, discard the mountain. So forest, ridgeline, and we have a forest in play, so there's no more lands to grab, but that's okay. We have 1 Electric Revelation in the graveyard. So we have that and then the Manamorphose draw. So we need some hits here. We'll make red, another land grant. Electric Revelation, discarding a land grant. Another Revelation, keeping the chain moving. Discard land grant. Okay, we're running on fumes here. Revelation, discard Goblin and Archimancer. There we go. And now we'll flash back a Revelation, discard the Sandstone Needle. And now we have a bunch of mana. We'll play Seething Song. 13 cards left in deck. Play Manamorphose. We'll make red. We'll Revelation, discarding Thornscape Familiar. Bright Flame for a bunch of mana. Glimpse the Impossible. I guess if I leave the land grant in exile, which is not something I ever considered, but if you leave it in exile, then Felden's Cane, you can use them all again. That's actually pretty cool. We'll Manamorphose, triggers. We'll make 2 more red mana. Another Manamorphose, 2 more red mana. Laughing Mad, discard Hickory Woodlot. They go to 14. We hit the Felden's Cane, we'll play it. My fear was if Felden's Cane was the bottom card of my deck, and I started to think about that after I put Manamorphose on the stack, but I was like, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to jinx myself. So we're going to draw everything but the final card. We'll play another Gutter Snipe, and now we'll use the Felden's Cane. And now we can land grant, and this will deal them 4 damage and get a forest out of our deck. That's just good deck building, let me tell you. Alright, so now we'll Laughing Mad, discard that Wooded Ridgeline. And this is how you beat Weather the Storm. You can deal 150, 200 damage this way. And now we'll flash it back, discard Sandstone Needle. Storm 39. Not bad. Sweet. That's a turn 3 win as well. The question is, how do I want to sideboard? Did I sideboard wrong last match? And do we think our opponent has the same sideboard as the previous build? I just took a quick peek at Goldfish and it seems to be fairly stock. So I think I'm going to do the same game plan here. We'll get rid of a land grant and then all 4 copies of Bright Flame. I'm less confident about boarding out Felden's Cane, but I don't know. We'll try it out. No, I don't think so. This is better. We'll get rid of a land grant. They don't need to know that I have 3 creatures in my hand. Great Furnace and Karkland Shaman. I did not want to see that. We'll play the Wooded Ridgeline and pass. They play a bridge and the Hunter's Blowgun. So this means that when they use the Karkland Shaman, it has Death Touch, so it kills everything even if they only sacrifice 1 artifact. We'll play the Goblin and Archimancer, and they play another bridge. And now they have a Duress. Ay. They took the Seething Song. Weird. That was the least important card in the hand. We'll begin by attacking. Play the Hickory Woodlot and just pass the turn. They play Ichor Wellspring, and they Galvanic Blast my Goblin. Okay. Manamorphose. I think here I'll just big score, discard the basic mountain, and we'll pass. They have 3 cards in their hand. They Thoughtcast, now they're back up to 4. Mirror Enforcer, 3 cards in hand, but now they have a clock. I'll go to 17 from the attack. Sandstone Needle, not a bad draw. Play the Thornscape Familiar, pass the turn. They equip the Hunter's Blowgun. That's really annoying. I didn't consider the +1/+1, making it so the Karkland Shaman lives. Oh, it has Death Touch, so it killed itself. I did not even consider that. Now they play another Ichor Wellspring. Yeah, I think our opponent messed up there. Now they have a Swamp, 4 cards in hand. Are we back in this now? We'll begin with a land grant. Grab a basic forest. Play the Thornscape Familiar. Let's Manamorphose. Red. You know what? We'll use the Hickory Woodlot. I was trying not to, but I think I'm just supposed to. We'll Pirate's Pillage. Discard the basic forest. Goblin and Archimancer. We'll play that. And Glimpse the Impossible. We fizzled. We'll play Hickory Woodlot. And then I'll play the Goblin and Archimancer. I don't have any flashback spells in my graveyard, so I will have to pass the turn. And we get 1 Eldrazi spawn. They have 5 cards in their hand, so they could have a lot of interaction here. No! Not like this! Oh, that's brutal. Absolutely devastating. I'll float a colorless. And now this damage, I guess they forgot to hold priority. Okay, not as bad for me. They forgot to hold priority and sacrifice something else. Maybe our opponent's a little newer to this deck, I don't know. And now Apostle's Blessing. Use the colorless I had floating. Protection from red. They play a land, 3 cards in their hand. If they play a Thoughtcast, I'm going to just snap off the Pyroblast. Black Mage's Rod, sure. Mirror Enforcer, they have 1 card. We need like a big score or something. That was not it. Pass the turn. They play another land, still 1 card in their hand. They Reckoner's Bargain. I'll take 1 damage from the Black Mage's Rod. And Ecker Wellspring, I'll take another. I'm at 13 now. Nile Spellbomb. I go to 12. That's not... Honestly, I don't know if I care a whole lot about that. So they're going to swing for 6. That puts me to 6. I'm not blocking. Let's see it. No, so many Pyroblasts. We haven't even seen a blue card that isn't Thoughtcast. That said, they would have been like Land Grants or the Feldenskane. Refurbish Familiar. Okay. Discard Pyroblast. Now they're going to draw off of the Nile Spellbomb, looking for spells to kill me here. They play a land. I have to block at least the Mirror Enforcer. And I need to keep a Reducer. Like, if they kill me, they kill me. But I need to keep the Enforcer. I also think they messed up by not equipping the Hunter's Blowgun. But what do I know? And Galvanic Blast. Well, that's certainly going to do it. Okay, so we lose game number 2, despite our opponent, you know, giving us opportunities that they probably shouldn't have. Bummer. Hopefully we get game 3. It does seem like Cart Clan Shaman is a little bit of a problem, but maybe you're supposed to just lean on the Apostle's Blessings. I'm going to keep in the Pyroblast just because, like, they might have those blue cards we saw, but they just didn't draw that half of their deck. I'll get rid of the Apostle's Blessing, play the Forest, and pass. I'm really hoping that Glimpse the Impossible can get us far enough ahead where we win. We'll play the Land Grant, grab the Wooded Ridgeline, we'll play it and pass. Vault of Whispers, Ichor Wellspring. We did not draw the land, so I will cycle Manamorphose. Red, green. Unfortunate. Pass the turn. Refurbish Familiar. I'll discard the Electric Revelation. Now they Thoughtcast and Duress. Jeez. So we faced 4 pretty heavily interactive matchups today. I do think that this deck is best when the format's a little bit more battle cruiser, and what I mean by that is decks that are trying to just be ships in the wind. This deck is not very good against interaction. The 4th Glimpse of the Impossible is terrible. So like versus High Tide style decks, for example, or you know, Gruul Ramp, where they can't really kill you or kill your creatures. Like they can kill you, but where they're not really interacting with your game plan, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. In the last video, there was some feedback from people that they felt like 8 big score effects was too much, and I was just like, are you kidding me? They're the best cards in the deck. Because when you're doing the thing, drawing through your library, they're positive on mana. Through playing this league, I'm beginning to question 8 big score effects, and maybe you want things that are a little bit smaller that allow you to set up. Because it feels like the deck is lacking setup effects. So maybe you're supposed to, instead of playing 8 big score effects, maybe you play some that are just draw 2s. It's just a thought of mine. Maybe that would help the deck out. You'd be less explosive on the combo turn, but you would be more consistent overall. They play Reckoner's Bargain, sure. So they're going to attack for 6, so I'll go down to 12. So next turn, I can play Glimpse the Impossible and try to set up a little bit. Ouch. Apostle's Blessing. That could be good if we ever find a cost reducer. Big score and Pirate's Pillage the graveyard here. I will get 2 Eldrazi spawns, though. That's something, I guess. They have 7 cards in their hand. They play Seat of the Synod and a Duress. So maybe our last opponent was playing a bunch of like Hydroblast or whatever, and this person's just playing a pile of Duress. I mean, I haven't drawn the Pyroblast, but maybe they're just not supposed to come in. I really don't know. And now they have Cart Clan Shaman. They're going to use the Nile Spellbomb, and then they use the Shaman immediately to clear the blockers. That's an interesting line. Okay, I go to 6. It does leave me dead next turn to Galvanic Blast, plus the 2 damage from Refurbish Familiar. I will play Glimpse the Impossible. We hit a Thornscape Familiar. Play the Mountain as my land for the turn. Play the Thornscape Familiar. Attempt a Seething Song. That actually resolved, wow. Okay, let's play a Glimpse the Impossible. We'll play Manamorphose. Make red-green. Land Grant. Sure, we'll play that. Grab a Wooded Ridgeline. We'll play a big score. This costs 3 and then makes 2 treasures. We hit our other goblin, but I'm running low on mana. That's my big concern here. I've already played my land for the turn, so if I go Goblin Glimpse, I don't have any mana and I fizzle. If I just go Glimpse the Impossible, I'd have to hit exactly Manamorphose, and there's 3 of them in the deck. So I think Pirate's Pillage gives me the best odds because I could hit Manamorphose or I could hit Seething Song. So we'll play the Pirate's Pillage, discard the Sandstone Needle, and we did not hit. Okay. I think we just have to pass and hope that I'm not dead. Okay, so we get a couple blockers here. I am dead to a Galvanic Blast. I cannot help that. They play a land. Yeah, so I'll go to 4. And there it is. So we lost the match. We're now 1-3. Not the record I thought I'd have coming into this. I really do think this deck is good, but maybe it's not the right metagame. Or maybe we need to finesse the list a little bit. I just need more information, so I'm going to play out match number 5 and try to just eke out if those big scores or Pirate's Pillages should become something a little bit smaller. I'm not quite sure. I really am interested in your feedback. Let's see how it goes in match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? Let's try to win this final match and get half my play points back. We're on the play. So if you hit the second land, Thornscape Familiar is online. I think you should mulligan. I want to keep, but it's just not a keep. This is fine. We'll get rid of the Pirate's Pillage, play the Wooded Ridgeline, and then we'll pass the turn. Another bridge? Is this Affinity for a 3rd time in a row? Play the Wooded Ridgeline, we'll pass. Mountain. Grab the prize. So it is not. It is the Madness Burn deck. Sneaky Snacker returns. We'll play the Sandstone Needle and just pass the turn. I can't afford Goblin Electromancer dying to a sorcery speed burn spell here. The swing. Ouch. I guess we'll get to try out the Weather the Storm sideboard plan, though. I think that's pretty exciting. Faithless Looting. Discards Alms of the Vein and Fiery Temper. Wow. Okay. Good start. In fact, like, this is almost an ideal opening for them. Okay. We'll begin with a land grant. Grab the forest. And I think I'm going to hold the forest for now. We'll play Goblin and Archimancer and Seething Song. Big score. Discard Revelation, I think. Another big score. Discard the forest. Land grant. So, like, in these spots, I do think that, like, instead of having Pirate's Pillage here, having a 2-mana spell would be better when I'm low on resources, but I don't want to harp. I kind of just want to try to win this. So we'll Rite of Flame. I guess we Pirate's Pillage? I don't know. Discard the forest into double land. I think we fizzled. Play the Mountain. Laughing Mad. Discard the Hickory Woodlot. Play the Thornscape Familiar. And then I have to pass the turn. Our opponent plays a Mountain and then flashes back a Faithless Looting. Fiery Temper. Kills one of my cost reducers. Okay. And now they swing. Ouch, I go to 8. We'll begin by attacking. And then we'll play a Pirate's Pillage, discarding Laughing Mad. Tap the Sandstone Needle. We'll play Goblin and Archimancer. And then we can Glimpse the Impossible for 1. Okay, that was actually pretty good. We'll play Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible, floating 4 red. Into another Glimpse the Impossible. Manamorphose, that was perfect. Because now I have a card in my hand. So we can start to discard cards to effects like Laughing Mad. We'll play the Rite of Flame. Play Seething Song. Play the Thornscape Familiar. And now we'll play Laughing Mad, discard the Mountain. I think we actually just pull the rabbit out of the hat here. I think we're going to get it. We'll flash back Laughing Mad, discard the Sandstone Needle. Laughing Mad, discard Thornscape Familiar. Electric Revelation, discard Goblin and Archimancer. Uh-oh. I said I think we had it, and then I just drew straight garbage. Okay, so there's 1 forest, 2 forest. Okay, we don't have any lands in our deck for land grant. Flashback, Laughing Mad, discard Sandstone Needle. Big score, discard Hickory Woodlot. Oh no, we fizzled. We'll play Gutter Snipe, play the Goblin, play the Sandstone Needle. Unfortunately, we have to pass the turn. That did not feel good. They Vampire's Kiss, I go to 6. They can attack, I go to 4. And then there's a number of cards that kill me. Galvanic Blast, Fire Blast, 2 1-mana burn spells. Ojuka Bog. Okay, sure, you got it. Okay, so we lose game number 1. We'll try the Weather the Storm package. The game plan is, excuse me, to board out the Thornscape Familiars, the Felden's Cane, and then the Gutter Snipes, but that leaves you at 59, so you actually get to bring in 1 other card. So it could be like an Apostle's Blessing. I think I'll leave in 1 Thornscape Familiar. We'll try this out. On the play. Sure, we'll try it. We'll just play the Wooded Ridgeline and pass. Jagged Barrens, okay. Play the Sandstone Needle, send it back. Vault of Whispers. into grab the prize. So once again, turn 2 Sneaky Snacker. We draw a big score. I will Pirate's Pillage, discard one of my 3 copies of Glimpse the Impossible, and then we'll pass. They play Faithless Looting, and they discard a Kitchen Imp. Okay, so they can attack for 4 here. I go to 13. We draw a land. Let's start with a Glimpse the Impossible. Mana was what I wanted, so that was actually pretty good. We'll play Rite of Flame, and then Seething Song. And then let's big score, discard the Mountain. We'll play Sandstone Needle, and Weather the Storm to gain 15. They swing for 4, I'll go to 24. 6 cards in their hand, and they just pass. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible once again. We hit Goblin and Archimancer. I don't even know if I want to play it, though. It's just so likely to die, and then I lose a treasure. We'll play the Wooded Ridgeline. I guess I'll play it. It just doesn't feel like a good use of resources to me. Play the Goblin, and then we'll pass the turn. A Fiery Temper, sure. On the end step, we get a few copies of Eldrazi, and now we're in their turn. They swing, I go to 20. They play a Rakdos Carnarium. Manamorphose, not a bad draw. We'll use an Eldrazi Spawn and the Sandstone Needle. We'll play the Manamorphose. We'll make red. Another Seize the Storm. Sacrifice the Spawn. Let's big score, discarding a Laughing Mad. I wanted more mana, but I'm not hitting it. We'll Manamorphose. Red. And I think I'll just Seize the Storm this turn. The creature's likely large enough where they can't burn it out. We'll play Seize the Storm. A 15/15 Trample. They play a land, and now they flashback Faithless Looting. Discards double Kitchen Imp, and they swing out for 8, so I'll go to 12. And then I believe this grows as we play cards. So if I Glimpse the Impossible this turn, it should grow. So we'll play a land grant. That cost me nothing. We'll grab the forest. You should see this become a 16/16, and it does. We'll play Glimpse the Impossible. Play the forest from my hand. We'll play another land grant. So now it's an 18/18. And then Pirate's Pillage. Discard the Electric Revelation. Now it's a 20/20, and we attack for lethal. All right, well, that actually seemed pretty good to me. I kind of like this. Okay. So I'm learning stuff this league, despite the record not being great. That's good. I like the Weather the Storm, Seize the Storm package. There are builds of the deck that play Seize the Storm in the main deck as the win condition over Gutter Snipe. But then you have to play a, what is it called? Bitter Reunion. So that way you can give it haste so you can win in one turn. It also, like, I guess it doesn't open you up to spot removal anymore, but you can't beat fog effects. So, like, I don't know, Moment's Peace or whatever. So they have their pros and cons. You could run like a 1-1 split, I suppose. The final game of this Pauper League, we're on the draw. I will keep Jagged Barrens once again. We'll play the Sandstone Needle, pass the turn. They have a Vault of Whispers. Grab the prize. No Sneaky Snacker this game. We'll play Hickory Woodlot, pass. Great Furnace into a Voldaren Epicure. Another Voldaren Epicure. So this could be a good turn for me to try to combo. I will play my Goblin and Archimancer. Play the Seething Song. We'll land grant. Pull a land out of the deck. Wooded Ridgeline. I would like to Pirate's Pillage. Discard the Wooded Ridgeline. We'll Pirate's Pillage again. Discard the Mountain. We found Seize the Storm, but I don't know if it's a card I want to play quite yet. Play the Rite of Flame. We'll big score, discard the Forest. Ooh, Rite of Flame was a good hit. We'll land grant. Pull out the other Wooded Ridgeline. Play the Rite of Flame for 3. Electric Revelation. I'd really like to hit a Weather the Storm. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so I can gain 33 life, or I can make a giant elemental. I think we just do the thing that makes us a ton of life. 1 mana short of playing Seize the Storm along with the Weather the Storm. I suppose, though, I could flashback the Electric Revelation, but then I lose my treasures. I think I'm just going to Weather. Alright, I gain 33 life. And then if they kill my Goblin, I don't even care, because next turn I'm just going to make a huge elemental. They Galvanic Blast. Grab the prize, sure. Great Furnace. Ouch. I go to 44. Glimpse the Impossible. I will Seize the Storm. It's an 11/11. They use the Blood token to discard a Sneaky Snacker. And now Fiery Temper. Sure. This returns Sneaky Snacker. Vampire's Kiss. They go up to 22. We'll play a Seething Song. Glimpse the Impossible. We spiked a Manamorphose. That's pretty good. Red. Rite of Flame. Okay. That gives me enough mana to cast some more spells here. The flashback on Seize the Storm is 7 mana. I'll play Goblin and Archimancer, Electric Revelation, discarding Electric Revelation, and I'm 1 mana short of Seething Song. Okay, swing 17. So in the last video, I was like, the red matchup seems impossible. This sideboard plan I like quite a bit. It feels like Ruby Storm in the community has solved this matchup. I just think that there's some area for opportunity to maybe make the deck a little bit smoother. Maybe I'm being overly negative. In between rounds, I was looking at Goldfish and other 5.0 deck lists for the Pauper Ruby Storm deck. Some people have trimmed it down to 6 big score effects, but very few people have gone down to 4. So maybe it's we cut 2. A lot of people are playing a full playset of 4 mana ones, though. They conceded the match. Nice. All right, so we got half the play points back. So what I would do most likely, there's 2 options you can play. The first would be Stormshriek Feral / Flush Out. It's a Omen / Adventure, whatever you would like to call it. But it's a backup win condition, which is really nice in case your Gutter Snipes somehow get exiled. So that way you could just play a bunch of large dragons and attack for lethal. That's actually kind of nice. Or Sazakap's Brew, which is a 2 mana one where you can gift your opponent and then like your creature gets +2/+0, but it targets a player. So that way, if your spy opponent combos out, you can make them draw a card and then they deck themselves. So those are really the 2 options. Another thing I noticed is a lot of people only play 16 lands. We're effectively playing 17 because we have 13 plus 4 land grant. I think I'd like to keep that. So if you want to play a few copies of the 2 mana draw spells to smooth things out, it's probably over Pirate's Pillage. So maybe we cut down to 2 Pirate's Pillage. Some people only play 6 to 7 Electric Revelation effects, although I think that those are the best things for comboing. So also the possibility, and then I'm just throwing it out there, that the deck is completely fine and I just ran cold today. That is a possibility. Sometimes you lose and sometimes you just have bad variance. I think it could be that. I'm not quite sure. What I am sure about is that I like the Weather the Storm package. I like the land grants. So the question is, do you keep 8 big score effects or not? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, keep storming. You know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the deck list in today's video, go to the comment section, check out that pinned comment where you will find 2 links. One for TCG Player, so you can buy the deck, and the other is so that you can rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Card Hoarder is the best rental service for Magic Online. They truly make playing online extremely affordable. Go check out Card Hoarder today.